Hello, welcome to the Curator Podcast. This is episode 2. Hello, hi, welcome once again, dear listener, to the Curator Podcast. This is episode 2, and I am your host, Mark Fraser. The Curator is basically a podcast where I sit down artists from all walks of life and talk about their origin stories, what drives them, how they got to where they are today, and how they began. Usually I do it under the influence of alcohol, not copious amounts of alcohol, just a pint or two. Usually. So recently I sat down with Intruder Green from the pop-punk band Masked Intruder. It was a pretty fun interview, I think. We talked a little bit about being a criminal and being a criminal in a band on a tour, and also what it's like to play with some of the most legendary punk bands in the world, and a whole bunch of other weird questions were asked as well. So yeah, I thought it was quite an interesting, quite amusing, and it was definitely a very fun interview. I hope you think so too. It was in the back of their tour van, as it always seems to be, and the temperature was set to very fucking hot. I was melting in there. I'm pretty sure he was too, and I can't imagine what it was like under that ski mask of his. Anyway, before we get into the interview, I did ask Intruder Green what song or songs we should play in the podcast, and he recommended I play this one from their new album M.I. This one is called The Most Beautiful Girl.
I thought we were already recorded. I was giving you gold.
Yeah, what it was gold. I apologise, man.
It's all right.
Okay, so
we'll still do it good.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too, dude.
How you doing?
Great.
How's the tour been so far?
Oh, it's been great. You know, we're getting towards the end here. We did all of Europe just now, and now we're over here in the UK. Playing Glasgow.
Mm-hmm.
Hitting it up with the Murder Burgers. And we did one show with them, and now we're doing another show tonight. We got 3 more after that. So, it's kind of getting towards the end, but we're still really enjoying it.
Awesome. Okay. I've read and listened to a few interviews with you guys, and you seem to have a gift for stealing things. What's the hardest thing you've stolen so far on tour?
Oh, well, I'm happy to hear you call it a gift, because it's more of a necessity for us, really, but it's nice to know that our skills don't go unnoticed, because we are very good at it, allegedly. And then What was the question? What's the most
What's the
what
hardest thing you've stolen?
hardest thing? Oh man, what's always difficult is trying to find time to make a real good meal when you're like in somebody's house. I wouldn't really call that stealing though, because they got so much food and it's just gonna go bad anyway. So it's like, why do they care? The problem though is finding time. Like I like to, like obviously a sandwich is really easy to make, and it's quick. But I like to, use the oven and like cook up a nice gourmet meal. But it's hard to do sometimes because it takes a while, and then like somebody comes home and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And I'm like, just using your stuff because you're not using it. What's the big deal? And then that's when the cops get called and stuff, and it's really just a big misunderstanding. But I'd say that's pretty tough to do sometimes.
So it makes me wonder, how do you guys get away with it so much if the police know where you are every night?
Well, police are stupid. I mean, I don't know if it's the same way over here in the UK, but it's like Officer Bradford. He's a terrible cop, and so that's why I think we're able to do these shows. Plus, it's like, yeah, they know where we are, but we work things out. We're pretty good at touring, and plus, when we're playing music all the time, it's like it kind of helps us stay out of trouble. It's really a good influence on us in that way, because when we're up on stage, we don't really have time to steal stuff unless I don't know, like there's a keg of beer just sitting there in the cooler and it needs to come and find its way into the van, but not that we ever did that or would, but if we did, we'd probably get away with it, but we never would do that. So I'd say it's easy to do this because you're on the go all the time, so you hit up a gas station and you're gone. You're in another country or something, especially over here in Europe. Like you go from country to country in a couple days. It's pretty cool.
Yes, it's much smaller than America for sure. Like getting from country to country.
Well, like America's got the states, and things are a little bit different from state to state sometimes, but for the most part, they're like all completely the same. Especially because everybody speaks the same language over there. But then you get like to these southern states, and like I know they're technically speaking English, but I can't really understand them too good. But it's cool, like we love playing the South too. But yeah, over here it's crazy. You go from country to country in like a day, and that's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I enjoy going to. I actually was in Oslo recently.
Oh yeah.
And man, that shit is expensive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever been to Oslo.
Well,
but yeah, it's like super expensive. You'd have to steal everything over there. Yeah. Everything must be stolen over there.
I mean, we were in what the hell did we play in Switzerland? Well, anyway, Switzerland's expensive.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it hard being in a band and being a criminal at the same time?
I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, it's the hard part about doing anything is staying out of prison. It's I don't know, man. The system is set up like for you to fail. I feel, they always trying to get you. It's like they just have a good time hunting people, and I'm like, I'm just a person trying to get by, people let all their stuff go to waste. So like, why wouldn't I just take it, allegedly, and then So I think being in a band on top of it, it makes you. Like people are like, oh, he's in a band. He's a bad influence on society. I'm like, I'm a good influence on society. Like, if everybody lived like me, they'd be more happy, and then there'd be less like violent crimes and stuff like that. So
is there any criminals you look up to?
Criminals I look up to? I mean, it's hard to say. Most of the guys that like pull off stuff that we do, like they're not as well known. Like I'm a big, like I like the Sopranos. That's a cool show, but that's not real, But then like the real mafia gangsters were pretty bad guys. Like they would kill people and stuff. So I'm not really into that. But it's like I don't know. And is there anybody who's like really famous for like stealing stuff, like a heist?
It's like Howard Marks, maybe.
I don't know who that
Yeah,
is.
he was a very famous smuggler.
All right. Well, that guy
Yeah.
sounds cool.
He is very cool.
Yeah.
He's now like a comedian.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
cool. One thing I want to comment on that though, like one thing the mafia guys did do back when like there was prohibition was they like, I mean, well, I don't know how that time went over here, but like
We didn't have it over
you
here.
didn't have it over here, of course, because
We're Scottish and
yeah.
we like to drink. So.
Yeah, like well, Americans like to drink too. It turns out. So like the mafia guys were always flying in whiskey from Canada and stuff. So that was pretty cool because they was doing some smuggling that way, and that's cool stuff, you know.
And well, talking about people you look up to, is there any musicians that you look up to that kind of that you really admire? I guess.
Oh man, you know, like my favorite band of all time is probably Green Day, because like they got a real cool name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like their music too, but you know, like I think their name is probably the best.
Do you like the Green Album by Weezer?
I actually do like the Green Album by Weezer. You know, it's like, you know, don't tell anybody I said this, but I think the Blue Album's probably their best one.
Oh.
I'm sure nobody's gonna hear about that, but yeah, I do actually really like the Green Album too.
Yeah. I do. I get a bit of like of Weezer kind of in your sound.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Yeah, like obviously a pop punk band, but also obviously a heavy pop influence. Like I hear the Beach Boys as well, and
Oh yeah,
Four
certainly.
Seasons and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we love all those bands. I don't know if you've like heard us talk about that, but we've definitely mentioned the Beach Boys and the Four Seasons before as bands that we look up to, and like we just love that kind of pop, old time pop sound, and the surfy kind of stuff. Like we don't do too much of that part of it, but it, you know, it definitely influences the songwriting part of our lives, and you know, yeah, Weezer's cool too.
Yeah. What was the thing that made you want to be in a band then? Like,
oh, I don't know. I just, you know, it was like we were all like good at singing and stuff, and then like we figured, you know, if we weren't a band, it might make girls like us more.
yeah.
So we tried doing that, and I can't really tell if it's working because girls still don't really like us too much. I mean, but it seems like it's better than just you know, I mean, we can like give them gifts and stuff too, and like try to like say hi to them, you know, and surprise them. But you know, I figure like playing music, telling them how much we love them is like a good way to go about it too. So we'll see if it, you know, works out one of these days.
Well, you guys seem to be good at stealing stuff, but it seems to me that girls are always stealing your hearts. Why do you?
Oh,
think
they're
that is?
stealing our hearts like crazy. I think that's kind of like a what do you call it? Like a paradigm or something, where it's like there's a yin and a yang, and it's like, yeah, we're always stealing stuff because we got to fill that void. Those girls are stealing our heart, and we got to try to fill that with like other stolen stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are on tour just now.
Yeah.
You just played Groza Rock, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Grows Rock was
Yeah.
great. I love it. You know,
Oh.
our second time doing that,
Yeah.
and we got to play the main stage this time, and man, it was a great time.
What was it like playing with bands like Refused and Social Distortion?
Oh, it's so cool. We actually played a festival first night of the tour when we were over in Europe with Social Distortion. I think it was called Loudfest, and Mike Ness actually was talking about us on stage, and that really thrilled me because they're like, you know, one of my all-time favorite bands. So
Yeah.
it was really cool to hear him say some cool stuff about us.
Yeah, you guys have also toured with Teenage Bottle Rocket and like the Queers and the Dwarves and stuff. Like that must have been pretty cool.
Oh yeah, you know, like Teenage Bottle Rocket was definitely an influence for us early on, and now we're good friends with them, so that's really cool. And we're pretty good friends with the Dwarves and the Queers now too, from touring with them. And certainly though those are like some legendary punk bands at this point.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it was definitely a pleasure to tour with them and do all that stuff.
So have you been finding the new albums been getting like a good reaction from people or on tour?
Oh yeah, I think so, definitely. We were just talking about like what songs you should play, and yeah, I mentioned the ones that we get like the best crowd reaction from, I think, and people really seem to like those songs. And I think one thing about the new album is it's a little more dancier than the first album, whereas the first album I think we did a good job making a real good like pop punk record, and the second album, you know, we mixed it up a little bit, and but maybe some of those songs are a little bit more like songs you could like ask a girl to dance to and stuff.
Yeah, is that so? That's are you hoping that girls will ask you to dance to your
Oh,
own song?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm always hoping for that. We got a part in our set usually where I'll try to find a girl to dance with. Sometimes it doesn't work out too good, but like all over Europe, there's pretty good dances and stuff. So like I'll dance with them, but then like it seems after our set they don't really want to have nothing to do with me. So maybe we got to work on that a little more. But so far it's all right.
Oh man, that's quite sad to hear, man.
Yeah, it's part of the way things go, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I have some generic bullshit questions.
Okay.
If you want the generic bullshit
Sure.
questions. Are the masks custom made, and is it hot to play in them all the time?
Oh, well, they're not custom made. They're cheaply made. And it's not really that uncomfortable. It's kind of like somebody's giving you a hug.
On your
and they're
face.
very furry, and they're hugging your face.
Yeah.
So that's very comfortable, like if
Yeah.
you get a hug from somebody. And, it's, during the set, it's very, it's like you're getting a hug on your face.
Uh-huh. Actually, fuck the generic bullshit questions. I don't want to ask them anymore.
All right.
I do have an interesting question for you though. Because you guys have an aversion to cops, they want to know if you had a choice between Beverly Hills Cop, Kindergarten Cop,
Oh,
Maniac Cop, RoboCop, and Paul Blart Mall Cop, and you had to marry one, kill one,
my good
and fuck one,
godness.
who would you pick?
Well, I would definitely kill RoboCop because that's like the scariest thing in the world. Man, that's a scary ass horror movie, and I get nightmares whenever I even fucking think about RoboCop. I guess Kindergarten Cop. At least he was good at like with kids, so that might be somebody to marry. And have sex with one of them? Was that the thing?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't ever want to have sex with a cop. Do I have to do that?
If you had to.
Oh, I have to. Oh man. Wait, was one of these guys? I'd have to think about the actors who played all these guys. I don't know.
Eddie Murphy played Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh yeah, Eddie Murphy's
Yeah.
sexy, so I'd probably fuck Eddie Murphy.
I think that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Definitely a good choice. Well,
He's
yeah,
funny too,
He is very
even
funny.
though he's a fucking cop.
Yeah. And now he's just old and not funny anymore. And it kinda
Yeah, that's
sucks.
kind of true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's just plays lots of stupid characters himself, which is,
yeah, he's bringing that money in though still.
yeah, he's making paper. Yeah.
Yeah,
So probably the last question for you
sure.
is, you guys have 2 albums, but do you ever find yourself wanting to play old stuff, or do you are you a bit reticent about playing it because you just want to play it, you want to show people you've evolved?
Oh yeah, not really. Like we do throw a few old songs in every now and then, stuff from our EPs and stuff. Cause some of that stuff is a little more, almost a little more like rocking.
Yeah.
So every now and then we'll be like, all right, let's kick this into high gear, and we'll throw in one of our older songs. So we really like playing the new stuff off of our 2 main full lengths. But it's always fun to mix it up a little bit.
Well, to add to that question, I guess,
Yeah.
I wanted to know, now that you're touring a lot and you've been touring with lots of like legendary bands,
Yeah.
how does that feel? Like, is that what you want to do when you started a band, to tour with these kind of bands, or is there something more that you're looking to achieve?
Oh yeah. Well,
Because in the bands that I know that I'm friends with,
yeah.
they only want to achieve a certain thing, and then if they don't do anything else after that, they're kind of like, well, whatever. And I think it's a bad attitude to have, because I think you should always be reaching for something.
Oh
new,
yeah. We always want to do better. We always want to like get more people at our shows. Like anytime we can reach out and get more people listening to our music, it makes us very happy.
Yeah.
It's one of the coolest things. Aside from like knocking off a liquor store real good and not getting caught, that we can accomplish is to show people that appreciate our music, and have them come to our shows and party with us. And especially if a lot of them are girls, like pretty girls, that's very helpful. And it's like, of course we love touring with these legendary punk bands, and like it's all really cool stuff. And it's the coolest thing is getting to meet these guys that we looked up to for such a long time, and then just becoming like casual friends with them, and
Yeah.
being able to just say, "Oh, hey, buddy, how you doing?"
It must be quite cool. So would you say that what you've done so far has been quite like a success? You're on Fat Wreck, you're touring
Yeah,
the world, you know, like,
Fat Records has been great to us. They're very helpful with everything we do,
yeah.
and yeah, the tours have been great and getting better every time. So, I hope we can keep doing it for a while.
That's great. Well, thanks very much, man, for talking to me.
Hey, yeah,
I
absolutely.
really
Thank
appreciate
you
that.
for the interview.
Yeah. It was very good to chat to a masked man.
Hey, yeah, thank you.
So there you have it. A nice wee interview with Intruder Green from Masked Intruder. It was a really fun one to do, and I hope you thought so too. Afterwards, I hung out with the guys in the bar, and I can honestly say they're some of the nicest criminals that I've ever met. I did find that my wallet was missing afterwards though, but the joke's on them because it was empty. So there you go, I guess. They played an awesome show in the 13th Note in Glasgow, which if you've never been to the 13th Note, is essentially like a small shoebox. It holds about 100 people, and the sweat was just dripping off the walls. It was the epitome of a punk rock show. It was pretty awesome. So yeah, thanks for listening. I think the podcast is getting better. Hopefully you think so too. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at The Curator Podcast. You can get me on Twitter as well at The Curator Pod. Also on SoundCloud at The Curator Pod. And please rate and review this podcast on iTunes because I'd really, really appreciate that. If you have any feedback, you want to send me some death threats, you want to say hi, whatever, just send me an email to hi@thecuratorpodcast.com. That's hi@thecuratorpodcast.com. So yeah, to play it out, I've got another song from Masked Intruder's new album. This one's called Crime Spree, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks very much. Until next time.